And who knows? We might only need 5th place to get into the Champions League, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but what you want to see from here to the end of the season is continuing these building blocks towards going ahead of next season and giving it a real good go next season. And I think all the signs are there.
No doubt about that, Rob. Many thanks. Arsenal, a comprehensive success here against Newcastle. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang grabbing the first 9 minutes into the second half after a good ball from Nicolas Pepe from the right-hand side. His first assist of 2. Then he weighed in with his goal himself after brilliant work from Bukayo Saka over on the left-hand side. Nutmegged Lazaro before finding Pepe inside the penalty area, who rifled home 2 goals in as many minutes, really teed it up for the Gunners. And then very late on, Mesut Ozil, his first Premier League goal of the season. Alex Lacazette with the assist, and then Lacazette on hand to fire home Pepe's second assist after good work from Joe Willock as well. And all in all, it's been a very good afternoon's work here from the Gunners. Let's hope that we can keep it up from here on in. We've got a crucial game in the Europa League on Thursday. We're away, of course, in Greece. We'll have that for you against Olympiacos, and then Everton at home next week in the Premier League before the return game against Olympiacos, and then back in FA Cup action against Portsmouth for the 5th round. Suddenly, things looking an awful lot better from an Arsenal point of view. Lots to discuss on Arsenal Nation as well. Reece is back down in the Arsenal Nation studio. He's joined Johnny and Nick. From me, it is goodbye. Full time here, Arsenal 4, Newcastle 0.
Thanks very much, Dan. Back for the next game, of course, hopefully with an equally positive result. 4-0 to the Arsenal then. Second half, a lot better than the first, it has to be said, fellas. Johnny Cochran and Reece Weston, as mentioned, back with me in the Arsenal Nation live studio. How are you both feeling then, Johnny? Go on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all thumbs up. Let's have it. Let's have it seriously. I mean, at the end of the day, you're here at half-time, I'm here at half-time, and I'm like, oh, it's hard to get excited about the performance in the first half. Nip and tuck, life and death with Newcastle at home. And all of a sudden, the class shows through, doesn't it? It's a little bit of that. Oh, get off Newcastle. They're struggling, with Joe Linton's up top, and we've got Aubameyang, the class of the field. Saka's having an absolute worldie, and Pepe, turn it on for me. Absolutely lovely. Feels really good to be an Arsenal fan right now.
Reece, what do you reckon was said at half-time? Because that was 2 totally different Arsenal teams, wasn't it? The first half couldn't really get going. Second half, we swept them aside.
I think it's just intensity, wasn't it? I mean, we're used to seeing Arteta's teams coming out and being on the front foot. It looked a little jaded almost in the first half. But from the first whistle in the second half, you could see the intensity was there. The passing was more crisp. It was more direct. There was more direction to how we were playing. Spent a lot more time in Newcastle territory, and 4-0 was absolutely warranted at the end, if not more. No, as you say, a great turnaround. From a first half it was pretty average to a second half where they've actually blown Newcastle out the water. Again, there was a couple of half chances we conceded that Saint-Maximin looked decent for Newcastle, but. The reality is Arsenal were very, very good in that second period.
It's exactly what we want to see. And I tell you who else was very, very good throughout the whole game, and you've noticed it online. Bukayo Saka getting a lot of love, as you can imagine. SK Videmaker there saying, Saka with the nutmegs! Pepe with the pepper, punishing 2 minutes for Newcastle. Yeah, that's what we want to see. That nutmeg by Saka to get the ball to Pepe for the goal. Swoon. And can you give Saka a goal for the nutmeg? Another one there from Andy. Lovely assist from Saka for the goal. But you did say to me when we was watching it, Johnny, that you thought Saka was the best player on the pitch. That was after the first half. Still after the second half for you?
The only thing that changed was that Pepe has to get his name mentioned in there for, you look at the brass facts of it, he's got 2 assists and a goal there. He's looked very good. And these are the kinds of things that we really wanted Pepe to be contributing and to showing that he was capable of. But I thought Saka, for me, just for consistency throughout the game, I mean, this guy, where's his proper position? Because we say he's not a left-back, but he looks unimpeachable there. No one's threatening him. When he goes forward, he's nutmegging people. He's going in behind, quality delivery almost all the time as well. He looks absolutely excellent. I think he's been our best player since Arteta's been in. He's been our best player because he's playing technically out of position, but looks excellent and is delivering to that standard all the time. Now, just to follow on that point a little bit, when we talk about, and I don't want to make it negative, but Nketiah, who's had a chance today, when we talk about those new players coming in, what you have to do to say, I am the new starter, you have to play at that level every week and say, you seized that position. And Saka's done that for me. For me, how can you put someone in over him now? He's been our best player every week. Whereas Nketiah, you know, Laka's come on and suddenly bangs a goal, and you're like, well, he's probably got to go back in. That's the difference.
Yeah, small margins, I guess. Someone else who got a goal today, or when you're talking best players, you can't not talk about this man, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, of course, and online you've had your say about his goal. CC here saying as soon as Aubameyang got up, I knew it was a goal quality header. Charles Watts here saying Ceballos and Pepe have been really bright since half-time. They combine with the latter floating in an excellent cross for Aubameyang, who heads home superbly 1-0 to the Arsenal. Aubameyang, Reece, it has to be said, he is just consistent with the goals. He doesn't stop scoring for us.
No, we need it as well, don't we? Let's be honest, we need it. And you know, it's funny that, I mean, in an open play, I thought the ball in from Pepe was nowhere near his best cross of the day. It was speculative, I thought, and he's going kind of half waiting for either the goalie or one of the Newcastle defenders to head it clear. And Aubameyang's just got up, and it's an unbelievable header. He's had to generate all the power, all the direction on that. But he's a class act, isn't he? You know, he plays with a smile on his face. He wears the armband with a huge amount of pride. And he's a fantastic player, and he's got a goal, and that was a catalyst for Arsenal to kick on in the second period. But, you know, there's a lot of mentionables in that performance, you know, and I'm delighted for Laka as well, coming on at the death there. Fantastic finish, as we saw.
Yeah, you loved that, didn't you?
Brilliant.
Not everyone can shank it onto another foot and get in the top corner, so it's a world-class finish.
But you can see how much it meant to him, you know. But, you know, Danny Ceballos, yes, worth a mention. And, you know, you look at Arsenal's back line. You know, Hector Bellerin had a tough afternoon today.
Yeah,
you know, St. Maximin is a lively player, but they managed to stick together. And then we talk about this impact, this togetherness that's crept back into Arsenal's play. OK, you know, defensively we're not the finished article, but, you know, clean sheet at home, 4 goals to the good. It's a fantastic day's work for the Gunners.
Yeah, I mean, for me as well, just to pick up on Aubameyang, because you brought out, Aubameyang is our only player who's world-class, in my opinion. He's the only one who gets into that category, because even when we're not playing well, he is always the difference maker, whereas other players, they just can't seem to find that form unless it's gelling. In a game where we were struggling to get that coherency, you know, in attack, suddenly, you say a speculative ball whipped in. I thought it was all right. I thought it was an all right ball. But, you know, when you look at Aubameyang, you think he's quite rangy. He's quite, you know, he's a slim player. But for the way he gets up and he's knocking people out of the way, and he's not going to just get bowled over, wins that header, and it's excellent. He's got an absolute killer eye when it comes to finishing, and that, you know, is at the very, very top level in the game.
That's why he's world class. Another player you mentioned there, starting to find his feet at Arsenal, done well today. Nicola Pepe, 2 assists and a goal, of course. You have been waxing lyrical online. Excellent from Saka. Pepe with a brilliant finish, the movement and the instinct. Star from Musa. Frankie here saying Pepe finally getting the goal contributions his performances have deserved. Also, how good is Saka? I've noticed all the tweets still mention Saka, but Nicola Pepe, it took him a little while to get going, but we starting to see, you know, the Pepe that we thought we were going to see, Reece?
I think so. Yeah, I do. I think his confidence is growing. You can see he's got ability. He's just such a difficult player to play against, because, you know, he's very, very left-footed. He always wants to come on his left side, but he's got his ability to manipulate the ball in such a way that defenders haven't got a clue what's going on. And now he's starting to contribute with assists. He scored his goal today, but he looks like he's enjoying it. He looked a little bit kind of shell-shocked when he first came into the side, I think. Maybe he wasn't quite aware of what the Premier League was going to be like, but now you can see that his shoulders are back. He's smiling, he's enjoying it, and he's really seems to be getting on with the guys as well, which is great to see. So he's his development's been fantastic under Arteta, especially. He's calling for the ball all the time as well. I don't know if you noticed that in commentary. You know, whenever the team are flooding forward, he's got his hands out like that, like to me. He wants it, and he wants to take players on, and this is why he's so exciting for Arsenal fans to watch. Lovely celebration as well. We expected a bit of that, but we got this now.
Oh, he's showing range. Showing range. Oh, I got the one as well. Yeah. I mean, to speak on Pepe as well, I think the 2 biggest positives out of it, of which this is a game where there was a lot of positives by the end, but obviously we spoke about Saka, who just looks the real deal at this stage. But this is what we had hoped would happen in terms of Pepe's development. at this point, you're starting to see now, you know, it's like a heartbeat, you know, and it was irregular before and it was just spluttering, whereas now it's starting to generate that bit of regularity when it comes to top performances. You know, if you actually look at his last 6 games, I'm pretty sure, you know, at least 3 of those 6 games, he's had a goal and an assist in that game, you know, that, and I know from Fantasy League. That is the kind of stuff that gets my attention. So, that, you know, you can tell that he's now starting to make the difference. And it's not about just, you know, funny feet or, you know, just a highlight reel. It's about actually making a difference in the big games. And that is what we can all get excited about, because that's what's going to help us push us up the league.
Yep, someone else who had a good game. I mean, they keep on coming. Mesut Ozil managed to get his goal at last. Been a long time coming, and you have been online giving your praise to Mesut. Simon here saying standing ovation for Ozil as he comes off quite simply. When he is on form, then Arsenal's attack comes alive. Dennis saying, I think Mesut Ozil has to be the most modest striker of the ball. The man never puts his foot through the ball, always a delicate touch. Yeah, I mean, it has to be said. I think you guys called it on commentary. Bit of a howler from the keeper, but don't necessarily matter how they go in, Reece.
The goal's a goal. I would have taken that every day of the week. Yeah, I mean, the goalie's chucked it in. Let's not beat around the bush. But what was really impressive from Ozil's perspective is he started that move off deep in our own half. He's still running. He's still keen. Still hungry to get on the ball. 89th minute, and he's bursting through. And he's, as I said, he divides opinion, and yeah, to a degree, rightly so. But statistically, he's always up there. You know, the amount of distance covered, the amount of key passes in games, etc. And to echo that tweet, when he's on form, we look so much more dangerous. You know, when he gets the ball in between the lines, he's one of the only players really in the Premier League that can see passes that other people don't necessarily see. And you know, if we can keep nurturing him, keep him focused, then you know, with Pepe's form, with Oba's form, hopefully with the other guys coming back in, Laka as well, you start turning those chances into goals. And today's a massive stride forward, I think, massive stride forward.
Well, speaking of Alexandre Lacazette, let's have a look at what you've been saying about him online. I love the little celebrations we have in between each of the sets of tweets we see. Yes, Lacazette needed that from Mim Arsenal. And we got one here, another one from Simon saying, perfect afternoon rounded off for Arsenal as Lacazette scores. Pepe with the assist, 4-0 to Arsenal. We kind of touched on the fact he shanked it off of his standing foot, but he needed that, didn't he, Johnny?
I think he actually gets the assist when that, an assist to himself when it works like that. One or the other.
Is this for fantasy again?
Yeah. You get assist and goal points. Look, I think when you have a player, it probably speaks to the fact of how, dare we say, out of form he's been, the way he's taken that. Usually he just hits it true. But this is what happens sometimes. You can't always be on top form as a striker, and sometimes you just need it to go in. And I'm really pleased for him, and hopefully it boosts his confidence. It looked like it really meant something to him, and that's important. You know, now that might mean, I don't know, whether Nketiah will get another start or whether Lacazette might get a little go now. And it's so important for strikers to just get that goal, no matter how it happens, so it can generate confidence and therefore form. But you know, I mean, it's just encouraging either way, because we've shown that with or without him, you know, with the likes of Pepe, Aubameyang every week, and Martinelli didn't even get on today, and he's been a real threat. So it's suddenly, you know, after all the things we said about our attacking options heading into the game and not being that convinced by it, it's suddenly looking a lot rosier in the garden.
Yep, right. Well, let's see what this does for our position in the league table. We can show you the updated one now. Unfortunately,
staying up. Staying up.
Unfortunately, Spurs managed to get a last-minute winner against Aston Villa earlier on, which was a bit of a shame. But the win for us takes us up into 10th, 34 points, and get this, guys, +2 goal difference.
There we go. There we go, yeah.
+2 goal difference. And we've got Manchester United and Chelsea playing each other tomorrow. So someone's going to drop points.
Yeah.
Is the top 5, is it on?
I think so. I mean, the thing for me is if you look at Tottenham being the barometer right now, obviously they're in that 5th place position, then I think at this stage for us to be within 2 wins, especially when a lot of these teams we've got to play again, Tottenham, you know, we've got to play. Yes, it's at their ground, but this is the kind of game where it may be you've got to go to, not even White Hart Lane anymore.
The Toilet Bowl Stadium.
Yeah, that horrible ground. You've got to go there and get something and actually win. But, you know, that's doable. They don't look great anyway. They're struggling to win. They're skanking them a lot of the time. So, you know, at the end of the day, what is key is we have to generate form. And it can't just be, oh, we done Newcastle 4-0. Next week, you know, we're getting beat 1-2-0, because then you can just kiss goodbye to it. But if this sparks a little run, who knows? On for you, Reece?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you look at the teams that are in and around it: Man U, Everton, Wolves, Sheffield United. They're all teams that, you know, are punching above their weight, with the exception of United, given their stature. But they're punching above their weight, and I think, you know, the result today was so crucial for the rest of the season for us. You know, 12 league games left. You know, have a right go at it. You know, and I think, you know, the 4-0 home win will be the catalyst for that. And you know, whatever happens between now and the end of the season, provided we have a real go at it, we won't fall too far short. Easy for me to say of the top 5.
Right, got to get a one-word summary from you both then. How you feeling after that? How can you sum it up in one word? Johnny, you first.
One word, I'd say Saka. That's how serious it is. It's him. That is it. Just Saka. That's my word.
The Saka fan club. It started right here. Reece, what about you?
Emphatic. That's what the second half was for me. Emphatic. That's exactly what we needed.
And I'll just put them both together and say emphatic Saka.
Perfect.
Double barrel it.
Teamwork.
That's why we need you, Nick. That's why we need you.
That's why I get paid the big bucks. Right, Reece, Johnny, thank you very much, fellas. Right, thank you for watching Arsenal Nation Live. Remember, we're here every single match day, which means we will be back for the next match against Olympiacos on Thursday. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.